Hi, everybody, and welcome to Cope with Hope. Today, I have the lovely AARTI Surendranath again for part two of her interview, and she's going to talk to me about her production as well as all the lovely charity work she does. So, Aarti, I knew that you were part of the A Mighty Heart team. I think you were executive producer on that film. Will you tell me a little bit about how tough it was and all your learnings with Brad and Angelina? Because it was a huge deal. I remember that.
Yes, it was, but that wasn't my first international project to have live produce and executive produce and creative produce. But yeah, it was the most prestigious. So, A Mighty Heart is, one of the most prestigious films that has been made and probably would be made. And you have everybody in a respect-oriented space that you're working with. Plan B is Brad Pitt's production company. Revolution Films, Andrew Eaton, Michael Winterbottom is directing, and it's Paramount Vantage. You really don't get bigger than that. But that wasn't my first international production. I'd done a lot of work with international production houses, with commercials and films. And with Andrew Eaton itself, I'd done 3 productions before that, shot in Rajasthan and here and there. It was a very lovely association. So till this day, Andrew Eaton stays one of my most favorite producers, and I always think of him so fondly and have so much respect and regard for the amount of prestigious work he's continued to do. So we were at our family vacation, actually walking down the Duomo, and I get a call, and he says, "So, are you ready to do something like really fast?" I said, "Like, what do you mean, like yesterday?" He said, "Yeah, something like that." I said, "Okay, what is it?" He said, "I'm going to send you the details. When are you getting back?" I said, "We're actually flying back tomorrow night. Kids' school starts. I'm flying back, so let me know what the details are." I said, "Okay." I get back and I read this mail, and I'm reading Marion Pearl. It is Daniel Pearl's life. It is Angelina Jolie. It's Brad's production. And
So, you were telling me that there were so many big names on this production.
I think because there were so many big names, I kind of went into a freeze and then I, defreezed. Beyond that, you can't react. So, and there was just so much work. There was just so much to do, morning, noon, and night. So I remember the first couple of weeks, there was a shoot which was planned to be in New Delhi, which we have moved, and I'm single-handedly responsible for having moved that completely to Pune, get everything similar. And that was a challenge itself. So we lost a lot of time there, but put the whole thing together, got everything that was required. I double dotted my I's and double crossed my T's to get everything completely right, because production in India is not easy. It is very, very difficult. Mighty Heart was, it really changed things a lot, improved things a lot more. Before that, it was very, very difficult. And I knew that, having shot so much in various places before. So I just didn't want anything to go wrong. It was a long shoot, over 13 weeks they'd be here. The shooting itself was many weeks, 7 weeks, something like that. Yes. So I knew it's going to be a long, tedious journey, and we have to get everything perfectly right. And then came the complexities and the intricacies of the script and dealing with international celebrities and the whole panorama of what is Hollywood. It's really quite something else. So I had to sign many confidentiality agreements, and I couldn't get anything leaked out. I couldn't get, it just is nothing. It was Fort Knox. I had to close it all in completely. So I had arranged, which I thought was so difficult and masterfully planned. I had arranged for everybody, the entire crew, Brad, Angelina, everybody to reach Pune. Okay. And nobody knew. Not a soul had any idea of what had happened. Suddenly, mails upon mails go to all the various top departments saying, how the hell, the PR department, how the hell have Brad and Angelina reached in a country like India and there's absolutely no news about it? When they kind of asked me about it, at that stage I realized that this game is something that's going to need all my wits to function, 24 hours, and I'm going to have to use all my experience.
Yes.
In front of, behind the camera, in showbiz, around showbiz, and creating showbiz. I just had to use everything. And I did. I used every little bit. And and to work within the confines.
Yes.
Work-wise was another issue. That was a piece of cake. There was no problem in work. It was so smooth. It was really shocking. The things that happened around. Kailash would call me and say, "What's happening on the weekend?" Because all our friends from all over the country would call and say, "Hey, there's a big party in Pune with Brad and Angelina. We're flying down. Some of them taking their jets and stuff." I'd say, "But I'm flying Brad and Angelina to a destination on the weekend. They fly out Friday evening and come back on Sunday. What the hell? What party? Who party?" You won't believe it. Every week there was this supposed party happening in
Oh
one
my
big
God.
name or the other big name being hosted in Pune. I cannot even tell you how many enemies I made because they were I'm shielding them. And people we know.
Yes.
So, if there's a party, we'd like to have a party in Mumbai. We'd like to enter. Look, really lovely people of the same equivalence of Brad,
Yes.
Angelina, and the producers. But it was a complete no. And I would keep telling them that they're not meeting anybody. It's just not going to happen. So invitations started going around from different sources and here, there, and the other. It was quite daunting and annoying. And I would try to explain to them, they said, we're here working. Why is everybody inviting us? We don't even know them. I explained very clearly to the entire crew because it was not only Brad and Angelina. There was Archie Punjabi, who was born in Mumbai, but went on to be in London.
And, the good wife, and she's done a lot of really good work.
Oh my God, she's brilliant. Yeah. And every single person on the crew, right down to the script supervisor, was at least once Oscar Emmy nominated. There was no, to be brash about it, no small fry on the crew.
Yeah.
So I just didn't know what really to do with everybody. And I'd explained to everyone. I said, in India, it's our culture and our customs, a very, very important thing for any visitor is Atithi Dev Bhavo. Yes. Anybody who comes to the India, to the country, you could be a complete nobody. They want you, they need you to come to their home. Yes. And I would explain the whole gamut to them. We were shooting on the year of Eid and Diwali back to back. Okay. So there was a lot of celebrations. In the colony we were shooting in, I had ordered one day peda. Okay, and I went to each home there, each home giving that tabba. And the crew asked me, "Why are you doing this?" I said, "I'm simply requesting them not to burst any firecrackers before 5:30. And I personally went to those many houses and I told them, said, "Please just do this for us. In any case, it's an evening thing." They listen. That was a really lovely stories. So what I must tell you is some of the other things, just kept quiet about them for very, very long. But while the shoot was going on and it suddenly became the national coverage and national news and it was all over and everybody was trying to get through to Brad and Angelina and there was so much happening. Just a drive for them to come from the hotel to location was a nightmare. Angelina used to come very early in the morning and we should be there for makeup at 5:30. So there was no disturbance. But by the time Brad came and the hotel was it was a circus to say the least. In the midst of all of that, of course, we're trying to handle everything. In the midst of all of that, my producer would get people approaching them and saying, "Why have he used her to do all this? She's a page 3 person. She's a page 3 girl." After a long time, and what's page 3? I said, it's a space on the tabloid. I really can't give you proper answers, but we live there. I said, "What do you mean?" I said, and because I answered it to him so matter of fact, and like just I said, it is just a thing. And he said, "What happens over there?" I said, "Well, they ask about, of course, it's evolved so much more today with MediaNet and stuff." I said, they'll ask where you are, which party where you at, what shoes you're wearing, what bag, and what job. And he said, "Like, really, you?" I said, "Yeah." And I said, that's the impression people carry. And he said, "Yeah, people have been asking me that." I said, and I said, I don't care. I'm very thick-skinned. I've really grown layers of thick skin over whatever happens internally is another issue. But I just want to know, I just need to for you to share with me who are the people who've told you this, because I keep feeling we're one industry.
Yes.
Kailash has helped, I think, like the largest part of the industry. I
Yes.
can't even explain in how many ways
I
and
know.
how many things in different aspects. And it's not actors and stuff only, it's producers, production, directors.
Yes.
I said, who could these people be? Would you believe it? There are people who've really been helped by Kailash and helped by us. They had approached them. It was really hurtful because here I'd gone. Do you know the things in production? I had replicated
I know.
Pune for Pakistan, for Karachi. I'd flown down the same taxi driver who actually drove Daniel Pearl. You know that man, that very man, with all the formalities and the visa problem. I brought down that very car, the very taxi. We got it shipped down. Got such crazy, impossible things on production.
Yes.
And this is what was being questioned on. So Andrew told me, he said, I told them that, I've got absolutely everything I needed. She said,
very good.
Page 3 or not, if whatever it is. And it dawned upon me at that stage that, what kind of things I kind of go for you, against you. And I realized, I always knew it in my subconscious, that I kind of understood what inverted snobbery was all about and how difficult it, and me being a woman, it's a man's job, and what is she going to be able to handle? She handles everything. The
Very
toughest,
good.
the most difficult thing, she's handling it, perfectly. Every kind of permission, we've shot in Muhammad Ali Road with Angelina. I've put Angelina Jolie on a local train. I'd like to challenge any producer to do that. It's like really something. And up and down, a couple of takes, and we've managed to do all of that.
Yes.
And to put her on the train was Kailash's idea.
Wow.
Because everybody goes on the local train. There was a lot more we shot of her dancing on the street for Holi also. They didn't keep that in the film because it was a lot more. But our contribution, which is what the team, they know, they love, and they know. Brad actually got very fond of Kailash. And it's when we went for the release and we went for the red carpet, where we were specially invited, and it was a special party that Brad had hosted. And everyone said that he's like waiting for you guys to come in. Right from the end of the room, it was in a secret place. We were taken to driven there. And right from far, the minute we entered, hey, Kailash! And it's a Brad. He's been so wonderful. But there were crazy, idiotic challenges like this. I would literally come and burst into tears in my room and say, what the hell, in this day and age, we're being challenged for being a woman, for being a female producer, for being famous and glamorous. What the hell? This is my work. I'm doing it.
Yes.
And really, I can challenge anyone. Do it as smoothly. And the budgets and the way I've done it. And that's something. So it was very appreciated by both Brad and Angelina. I set up a full counter, running through the shoot with the tandoor. It was like a shadi ka spread with pani puri. While everybody was really asking me what's happened, what's going on, I couldn't talk about. I was feeding Brad pani puri.
Oh, sweet.
He was absolutely adorable.
You couldn't talk about it, obviously.
No, I couldn't. And I remember very clearly that Shobha Dey told me, I explained to her, I said, I'm bound by contract. There is nothing I can do. There is a publicist who's coming. You need to approach the publicist because I'm not like a friend and I'm not a page 3 buddy who can arrange these things for you. I'm the producer here. I can't do anything. But I will make sure that you send it. And there's absolutely fabulous publicist, Peggy Malloy from Paramount. And I said, I'm going to forward it to her, to give her each one's emphasis and importance. And, make sure that she kind of does whatever you guys need.
Yeah.
But Shobha said that write everything every day. I just thought to myself that what an interesting dedication to your art. And she's telling me to write. Today, I realize and remember that I should have written day by day. It would have been the most magnificent story ever. But there was just so much which I had to bottle down and just, keep to myself. But after having done A Mighty Heart, I can take anything. It's a piece of cake.
Well done.
Really. And I thank you. Of course, the film is so, and we've just done a beautiful film, done a crime thriller. But to do a meaningful subject-oriented film is something else,
It's
to be
very
part of
special.
that. So it will always, yes, it is very, very special.
Yeah.
It was fabulous.
So, Aarti, tell me about your charity work. I know it means a lot to you. She has always had many, many pets in her house, has adored dogs. Until today, on her Facebook, you'll see posts about dogs that need to be rescued. She's always taking care of them. It's wonderful to see.
I don't think it's enough. I don't think one gets enough time. And if there's something that's happened through the pandemic, made you
Yeah.
realize even more.
Yeah.
I love dogs. Every dog, I connect with them in a second. It's. I don't connect with human beings that fast. I mean, everyone thinks I'm really friendly and stuff and all that.
Yeah.
But that's because part of me is switched off. But with animals, any
Yeah.
animal, I'm in that animal's heart and soul.
Yes.
What the pandemic made me realize is that they're helpless, totally helpless.
Yeah.
Birds can survive, tough as it may be, like sparrows need water, which they don't have, they suffer. So other animals can survive, but dogs and cats on the street, they
Yeah.
are only reliant
On
on what
human
they can
beings.
get from the
Yeah.
garbage man or
Yes.
people. So that got me very, very, very so absorbed in it. I can't tell you, I've just been even more mesmerized than I ever was. Love for them is something else, but right now, the compassion, the fury. I mean, I've always told myself to understand that, you love animals. What you want to do for them is something else. Never compare it with shortcomings of human beings, because it's Zameen Asman ka fark. And
Yes.
I mean, the shortcomings are with human beings, not with animals. And I just realized that people leaving their pets on the road, I know people have gone through a lot, and
Yes.
it's been a very, very difficult time, and it's been very difficult for people to even afford to keep food and stuff. But domestic pets, the amount we are rescuing, that is another pandemic.
Yeah.
The other dogs that are left, animals that are left on the road, and they haven't been spayed, they haven't been neutered because nothing's working, no government organization is working. So there's litter upon litter being born. What do you do?
Yeah.
There are so many of them. But Nandini, for the amount of heartless people and those who don't care, I have discovered that there are so many people who care,
Okay.
who are
Yes.
making the difference.
Yes.
And the other thing is the children of our world are who are going to make a difference to everything.
Yes.
They're going to look after
Absolutely.
them. So I love them. It's great, and I try to do whatever I can for the younger generation. You kids have it so challenging, and everybody thinks you're privileged. Yes, you are privileged, but it's so challenging because given the amount that you have, with no directive of what really is right, wrong, and where you can go wrong, and a few things that are important. For example, we had a subject called moral science in school, and they addressed many, many issues, which just put everything in perspective. Today, for the grades and to succeed, kids are having to overlook, a lot of things that are very, very important. I know I know that they will land on their feet, and I know that a large number of them are going to understand and take forward this world. So I have great faith, hope, and prayer for that.
Yes.
So that's for the younger generation.
Great hope, faith, and prayer for the younger generation. And
And
for
believe, trust them.
belief and trust. And for the rest of our audience?
For the rest of our audience, Cope with Hope is such a nice. It's sometimes something's just sitting right there in front of you,
Yes.
and it takes a person to pick it up. So thank you, Nandini, you've done that. It means a lot. I on the side also worked with depression, with mental diseases, and I have seen how crazily everything is escalated. Not only even just before COVID just I think was a balancing space. I think eventually it will come out as that. A lot of things, imbalance in lifestyle, in the ability, the have not. I'm not saying haves and have nots. The have and have not, what you have, what you don't have. It could be something
Yes.
materialistic, it could be something physical, it could be something in your mind. Those things are very, very intense. So hope is very important.
Yes.
And I think this platform is so important because it just makes you sit back and, kind of get a lot of things in place in perspective. So I think everybody's had their own learning, and I respect each one for having introspective. My daughter told me, I kept saying, this is the time to introspect. She kind of told me, mommy, we've reached a point that nobody can introspect any more than this year of COVID.
It's true.
That is true.
Yeah. Yes. It's true. So thank you so much, Aarti, and thank you everybody for watching this. And just remember, it's very important to express yourself. It's so strange because Aarti says this, and her husband, who's also going to be, I'm going to release his video soon, has said the same thing. One of the most important things today is the ability to express yourself. And that is what Cope with Hope is all about. So thank you so much, Aarti. And it's always lovely meeting you, speaking to you. And thank you for sharing just such vulnerable parts of your life today with me. It's an honor and a
Thank you
privilege.
so much for making me share them. I've never opened up to my vulnerable side. It's all shut, packed, wrapped, and put at the bottom of the suitcase. So it feels very nice to open up.
Thank you, darling.
God bless.
God bless you.